Unit 2, Fourier series. Unit 2, Fourier series. Unit 2, Fourier series. Okay. See, Fourier series is introduced by Joseph Fourier. Joseph Fourier in the year 1822. Actually, when he is solving that heat conduction problem in fluid dynamics base, at the time the problem is so complicated. When the function is the algebraic function, we can transform from algebraic function to trigonometric function for it's convenient. So he introduced one series problem that is called the Fourier series. Actually, he's a French mathematician. The Fourier series are series of cosine and sine terms. Fourier series contains of cosine and sine terms. Actually, one important character of the cosine and sine terms is both the cosine and sine terms is periodic function. Actually, what is called the periodic function? And then what type of use of this Fourier series when you are writing that any function in terms of the cosine and sine terms? See, the Fourier series is particularly suitable for expansion of periodic functions. So many periodic functions like voltage, current, flux, density, applied force, potential, the electromagnetic force. Anybody, can you tell me that what is simply the definition of periodic function? You can tell in your own word. It's not a problem. So everything as used in the terms. Electricity we are using these terms. Okay, fine. That is very useful in electrical engineering problems, some engineering problems. All the fluid dynamics problems also we can use this Fourier series. Okay. First you have to write that what is the definition of periodic. Periodic function. Definition. Anybody? What is called the periodic function usually? Any example, simple example for periodic? If one pendulum is there, the pendulum, and then when you move from this side, and then you move that side, and then this side. Okay, so that actually that one length of this pendulum is called that one period. what one complete rotation of this pendulum is that period. Otherwise, you start one point from here. I'm starting from here to once again I come to the same point. So here, what is that period? 360 degree. Okay. Similarly, any other examples from your side for that periodic function? Periodic function, period. What is called a period? Respond from that side, then only I can move. Huh? Simply sitting that side, it's not the good. Nearly 10 students are there. Not able to tell what is called a period or periodic. Am I audible first? Am I
Yes.
audible? Then why you didn't tell the answer for this? Mitra?
Sir, yes, sir.
Ah,
So periodic function repeats itself at regular intervals.
regular intervals. Good, correct one. In the regular interval, it repeats. Correct. So, write the definition for this. The function, any function you consider f of x. The function f of x is said to be periodic if f of x plus p equal to some f of x. So if it is true, means f of x plus p equal to f of x, where the p is there, no? P is called period. It is one positive number. P is that positive number. And then one more thing, it is the smallest value of p. For example, in case if you are considering that f of x equal to sin x, f of x equal to sin x. You are adding that. But actually, what is the graph of sin x? Graph of sin x is start from here and goes on like that is the graph of sin x. So it is called one period. So what is the period of this? It is pi. It is 2 pi. It is 3 pi. Here it is 4 pi. So what is the period of the sine here?
Pi.
What is sin x plus 2 pi? Sin x. So sin x is periodic function of the period 2 pi. Period 2 pi. Similarly, cos x also the periodic function with the period 2 pi. Tan x is the periodic function with the period pi. Okay. In general, how can we write the period of the function? In case if we take that sine towards cos towards sine towards cos towards is there. In case f of x is in case f of x equal to sine towards maybe that. At the time the period is pi. For example, in case I am taking that f of x equal to sin nx, sin nx. Sin nx means that is equal to, so what is sin nx plus 2 pi, that is equal to sin nx. Is equal to sin nx. So how can we write that? In case if you are taking that n outside, x plus 2 pi by n. That means you can write that f of x plus 2 pi by n. Therefore, 2 pi by n is the period of 2 pi by n. The period of sin nx. Similarly, 2 pi by n is the period of cos nx. Okay. Then we can define the Fourier series now. Fourier series definition. Fourier series definition. Before we go to the Fourier series definition, so what are the conditions for the Fourier expansion? Conditions for Fourier expansion. Conditions for a Fourier expansion. That condition are called DARICH LET Dirichlet's condition. Somebody pronounce it Dirichlet's or Dirichlet's conditions. Dirichlet's conditions. What are the Dirichlet's conditions? Condition. First, any function of x, write down any function f of x, any function f of x can be developed as a Fourier series. A Fourier series a0 by 2 plus summation an plus n by x by l plus summation of n equal to 1 to infinity bn sin n by x by l. is an expansion of Fourier series. Can be developed as a Fourier series a naught by 2 plus summation of n equal to 1 to infinity a in cos n pi x by L plus summation of n equal to 1 to infinity b n sin n pi x by L, where a naught, a n, b n are constants provided the following conditions are satisfied. What are the conditions? First condition is f of x is periodic. That is the first condition. And single valued and finite. Single valued and finite. F of x is periodic, single valued and finite. Okay, that is the first point. Second point is, I think it is not visible. The previous one is also visible. Second point is f of x is finite number of f of x has a finite number of finite discontinuities. Finite discontinuities. Finite discontinuities in any one period and has no infinite discontinuity. Has infinite discontinuity. Okay. Please think over it, that what is called the continuity, finite number of continuity, finite number of discontinuity. What is called the continuity and discontinuity? These are the basics of x at least of x has at least, not at least, just wait. Yes, at most, not at least. Of x has at the most a finite number of maximum and minimum. Finite number of maximum and minimum. Now you can see already we have discussed that what is called the periodic. Okay, single valued you can refer that what is called a single valued function. That is already was studied in ninth or 10th standard. What is called the function? Okay. F of x has finite number of discontinuity. What is called the finite number of discontinuity? If one interval is there, interval is a to b. Okay. In middle, I can write that a finite number of discontinuity c, d, e, f. At the time, the integral is can be written as integral can be written as full line. So here, in case if you are taking that integration a to b f of x dx. So that is equal to what? Integral over a to b f of x dx can be written as anybody. If I am able to write that in middle, I can add that lot of subintervals. That intervals are called the subintervals. These intervals are subintervals. In any one of the interval, I can write that a finite number of subintervals. So a to b f of x dx can be written as integral over a to c plus integral over c to d plus integral over t to e plus integral over e to f plus integral over f to b. So here see that starting and ending is b. Here also the starting is ending is b. The value will not be changed when the function is the continuous. The function is the continuous function. So here now we can write the what is called the Fourier series formula. Write the heading Fourier series. The Fourier series defined in the interval. The Fourier series defined in the interval c to c plus 2 1. In general, I am writing. Usually, period is 2 pi. In case any problem we can solve by using this formula c to c plus 2 1 Fourier series. That formula is called the universal formula. We will apply for all the interval. So we can write as note for this. We can write the note here. Is common to all intervals. Common to all intervals. Common to all intervals. The Fourier series is defined in the interval c to c plus 2 pi. Fourier series of the function f of x. So of the function of x can be expanded as f of x equal to a naught into plus summation of n equal to infinity a n cos nx, sorry, not cos nx, cos n by x by n is summation of n equal to infinity b n sin n by x by n. That is a Fourier series expansion. This is the Fourier series expansion, where a naught, a n, b n are constants. A naught, a n, b n are constants. How can we find that a naught, a n, b n? And then one more thing, this a naught, a n, b n are known as Euler formula or Fourier coefficients. Fourier coefficients, where this a naught 2 by a naught by 2, a naught by 2, first term, this a naught by 2, a naught by 2 is called constant term of the Fourier series. A naught, a n, b n are constants, but what is the constant term? First term of the Fourier series, the constant term. Constant term of the Fourier series. Term of the Fourier series. Now to find a naught, a n, to find a naught, that is equal to 1 by n, integral over c to c plus 2 n of a n equal to 1 by n, integral over c to c plus 2 n f of x cos by x by n dx. b n equal to 2 by n, integral over c plus 2 plus 2 n f of x sin by x by n dx. Actually, what is the interval here? What is the interval here, Mitra? What is the interval here?
Yaran ta sang poi me
Pavan Kumar. Pavan. Varsha? Varsha? Anybody is there?
Yes, sir.
What is the interval? C to
C plus 2.
C plus 12 is interval. Anybody is writing or not there? Huh? Interval. Here it is clearly given. Interval C to C plus 12. Harigaran? Harigaran?
Yes, sir.
Notes எழுதுறியாப்பா?
Yes, sir.
நோட்ஸ் எழுதுறீங்களா எல்லாரும்? நேர்ல
Yes, sir.
உங்களுக்கு
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
interval is C to C plus 12. Then you have to respond my questions. What is the period? How to find the period for this? Period is ending interval minus starting interval. So what is the ending interval here?
C plus 2L.
C plus 12 is ending interval. Starting interval? Starting
C.
interval? C. What is the period here?
12.
What is the period?
12.
12. In case 0 to 3 is the interval, then what is the period?
3, sir.
3. Okay. Length, very simple. Period mean what? What? Length. Okay. Interval is 0 to 2 pi. Then what is the period?
Two pi, sir.
2 pi, sir.
In case the interval is minus L to L, what is the period? Calculate.
2L.
12. In case minus pi to pi is the period interval, then what is the period?
Two pi, sir.
2 pi is the, you see, don't write that minus 2 pi minus 12. I'm writing some hyphen here. Period is 2 pi. Okay, otherwise I can erase this. You will get confused. Period is 2 pi. 12, 2 is the period. Okay, so okay, fine. Next one. In case minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is the interval, then what is the period? Finding the period is important for any interval.
Pi.
Pi is the period. Okay, fine. Next one, we can write that the Fourier series the Fourier series for the interval C to C plus 2 pi, C to C plus 2 pi. The Fourier series for the function f of x in the interval C to C plus 2 pi. how to write that. And then we come to this function. Here we are coming. Okay, fine. So how to write that? First term is a naught by 2. First term is a naught by 2. There is no change. Okay. So second term, come to second term. What is the interval here? What is the interval? We are going to write the new formula for the interval C2. Are you there?
Yes, sir. C
Uh,
plus 2.
C2 C plus 2 pi. Is it not? So what
Yes.
is that? You compare this. Comparing this C is C. Okay, leave it. But C plus 2 only C plus 2 pi. What is the difference between both? Only
Yes.
pi is different. L and pi is different. So wherever L is there here, we have to substitute pi. Is it not? Wherever L is there, you have to substitute pi. What happened? Wherever L is there, you have to substitute pi. So what dark I need to take? Okay, dark blue I can do. So instead of L, if you substitute pi, what happened? L equal to pi now. What happened? You substituting L equal to pi here. That pi get cancelled. The formula becomes. Anybody is there?
Yes, sir.
Arigaran, what happened to this formula?
Cos nx, sir.
Cos nx and item. Then, in case if you substituting that L equal to pi here, what happened? Pi get cancelled. Bn sin
Sin nx.
nx and item. Then what are the changes here? Quickly tell me that. A naught is 1 by. Instead of L, you have to substitute
Pi.
pi. So 1 by pi. What happened? Integral over 0 to not 0. C to C plus 2 pi f of x dx. What is an here? An is, if you substituting L to pi, that pi get cancelled. Then an equal to what? An equal to 1 by pi integral over C to C plus 2 pi f of x cos nx dx. Here also you have to substitute L equal to pi. When you substituting pi, you will get that. So here also C to C plus 2 will not. In that place of L, you have to substitute pi. Therefore, what is Bn here? 1 by pi integral over C to C plus 2 pi f of x sin nx dx. Is it not? So we can write that formula here. Fourier series for the function f of x in the interval c to c plus 2 pi is f of x equal to a naught by 2 plus summation of n equal to 1 to infinity an cos nx. Are you able to see that letters?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bn sin nx. Now what is a naught here? A naught is 1 by pi integral over c to c plus 2 pi f of x dx. An is pi integral of 3 to t plus 2 pi f of x cos x dx. Then dn is 1 by 5 integral over c to t plus 2 pi f of x sin nx dx. Okay, this is the next concept. First one is you are writing the universal formula for Fourier series. That is the formula is common to all the interval. Whatever the interval is given, you can use that formula. So in case some pi formula is there, then we can write that formula. We can write the second one formula. Okay, the Fourier series. Write the note. The Fourier series. The Fourier series. It is defined in the period, defined in the period 12 or 2 pi. Then the Fourier series is called Fourier series is called full range Fourier series. Full range Fourier series. When that Fourier series is called the full range Fourier series, if the period is 12 or 2 pi, then the Fourier series is called the full range Fourier series. So that is a note 1. Note 2 is the Fourier series. Yeah, Fourier series defined in the period, yeah, period L or pi. So here 12 or 2 pi is there, na? That is a full range Fourier series. If it is L or pi, then the Fourier series is called what? What is that Fourier series is called? If it is full means it is what?
Half, sir.
அவ்வளோதான் ஆஃப் ரேஞ்ச் ஃபோரியர் சீரிஸ். நல்லா தானே சொல்கிறீங்க, அப்புறம் ஏன் ஆன்சர் சொல்ல மாட்டேங்க? ஆஃப் ரேஞ்ச் தப்பாக போனால் பரவாயில்ல, திருப்பி ஆஃப் ரேஞ்ச் ஃபோரியர் சீரிஸ், அவ்வளோ. Range Fourier series. So what are the constants? There are two types of the constants. Not two types of the constants. There are three constants are there: a naught, a n, b n, and then two types of the interval. Today we discussed. One is for full range. One more is for half range. Okay. So what are the important MCQ today? What is called the periodic function? First one. What are the important MCQ here? Who invented that the Fourier series? And then what are the periodic functions? Periodic function definition. Then what are the period of sine and cosine? And then Fourier series definition. So in the Fourier series definition, first you have to see that what are the conditions for the Fourier series. Then you come to the Fourier series universal formula. From the universal formula, you can define one more formula. Okay, that's all. Today class is over. Means from the next class onwards, we will discuss the problems in the Fourier series. Fine. Okay, sir. Give your attendance 4,
Present, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
12, Altaf, 13,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
13,
Yes, sir. Little present, sir.
14, 14,
Present, sir.